Wonderful. So now, let's say some point in the future, I don't even know if this is possible or this could be a thing, but let's say you were given the ability to go back, right?
Yeah.
What would you change and why?
I would invest in Bitcoin.
That's my man. W man.
Yeah.
I would love to join you.
W man. It's funny. Like for me, I would tell like if I could go back to my youngest self, change something, or just tell him something, I would just be like, hey man, like whatever you struggling with now, keep at it. Just keep going at it because I'm always big on finishing your journey. You know, if you start, finish your journey. Wherever that journey leads you, finish it. Because, you know, if you succeed, then congratulations, you did what you set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't succeed, you know, you didn't really fail. You learned.
Mm-hmm.
So you maybe learned how to get better at it next time, or you had at least bare minimum, you found something else you loved, and you at least now you're passionate. And you had fun on the way there.
Yeah,
why not? So I would say, you know, for me, I think a lot of times, like I was always, as a kid, I was always super self-conscious about how I was looked, how I was perceived, how people, you know, took me. I that was something I always like cared about, and it stopped me or blocked me from doing things that I would like generally love to do. Just because I was like, man, I want to go out. Because my biggest fear was being embarrassed. Not even that I was failing, but just being embarrassed. Like, man, I don't want to look crazy out here. I don't want to look crazy in front of all these people. And where I'm from, if you look crazy on something, they gonna call you out for real on it. So my whole thing was, I would tell them, don't care about that. You want to do that thing? Do it. Just do it. Because you never know. That's what I tell a lot. That's what I tell some of my youngins that are under me. I'm like, you never know what you're good at. You never know what you're good at but push comes to shove, time to start showing.
Yeah, man. I just love how you just replace the word fail with learn. I think
you fail. The only way you fail is if you come out of a situation, it didn't go your way, or it did go your way and you learned nothing. Yeah, like,
agreed.
If you fail and you come out of a situation, you learn nothing. Not only you failed, we wasted your time. So,
big time.
Yeah.
100% the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. So this may be interesting topic for both of you again.
Yeah.
We're going deeper, right?
Yeah.
All right.
We're really going into the tunnel.
I got my light. I'm ready. We got a lot of lights in here. We ready?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So when you go straight into the tunnel, don't be afraid of monsters. There won't be any monsters here.
We good.
In this question. Good. But, anyways, is there any passion that you have ignored from the past that you regret, and you want to follow it now?
Ooh.
I'll let you say that one.
Any passion that I've ignored from the past that I'd want to start now?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a really good question. I would love, like, it goes back to going back in time, but if I could, I think I would have kept playing soccer. I was really good at it. I was playing academy at the top level. And I went through some things like mentally at the time, so I quit. But looking back at it, I was like, even people tell me like, you should have kept playing, right? Especially because like a lot of very famous players played for my academy. Like I'm not gonna say who, but like we're talking everybody knows them. So I think like I think definitely I would like to ignite that flame again. I would go back into playing soccer. Toronto FC, if you're listening to this, sign me. Give me a chance. Let me come try out. Give me a chance.
Give him his 10 day. Give him his 10 day.
Yeah.
Toronto.
It's going off of that. For me, it was always like, if I like something I ignored, it's kind of crazy because like everything like I did was kind of like, let's test the waters, let's see it, how this goes. For me, it was definitely like I do wish that I would have I would have, even though I did like play basketball in high school, but at some point I stopped to play football, and part of me wishes I should probably just stay doing it because
Yeah.
there's stuff that you're instinctively good at. There's stuff that that just comes to you, and then there's something you love, and a lot of people probably know this. If you're in a relationship right now, you can't fake passion. You
Yeah,
can't fake
man.
that passion.
Yeah, man.
So with me, when I stopped playing, a lot of it was because I'm thinking, man, am I even really that good here? Like, am I really that good? And then I was like, I tried to put it down. I started to continue playing football, and it was cool. It was cool it was cool. But then every time I'd get on court, whether it was with my friends or we were running a little scrimmage or whatever, and I'm just like, I was pretty nice at all this. I could have probably continued, and like I said, it probably would have led me to other opportunities in my life. Probably would have had me meeting other people because I had like similar to you. I had like certain friends in my circles like, yo, bro, you were like, you're pretty good. You're pretty solid. I wouldn't tell you I was the best or nothing because I definitely was not. But I do know for a fact that, there was always something to build off of, and I wish instead of caring so much about how I was perceived on the court at an early age, I wish I would have been like, you know what? Let me continue getting better. If I never went anywhere with it after high school, if I bombed in college, it didn't really matter. I just continue doing it, and that's why I harped on earlier. Finish that journey, because
Finish the
whatever
journey.
it led you, you earned it. That was there.
Wow. Amazing. This is the quote of the day. Finish the journey, people. Finish the journey, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Probably a bit probably even more interesting. Maybe there's this one person that you really miss, that you really want to see. Who would that be? And what are your future plans to see that person again?
Oh, that's crazy. That's tough, really.
That is tough.
Because it's so crazy because when you're going through everything, you see so many different faces. Our brains, as soon as we're young, we see so many different faces come and go. People that we call our best friends, they moved away. And then when you're 12, you're like, wait, what's moving away? So it is kind of strange. Like, there are certain friends, there are certain family. If you want to take start the lead on this one, I'll let you start the lead because I had to think about this one for a little second.
Wow. So basically, when I was maybe 11 to 13 years old, I had a best friend, right? And so basically, my mom and dad, we lived in we still live in a pretty good neighborhood in Brampton, but my grandmother, she lived around Century Gardens, and at the time, I don't know if it's still like that, but I know at the time, not the greatest neighborhood, but I would go there. Because she would babysit me, the days where my mom was working and my dad was working, and basically, what had happened was, sorry, what was the question again?
Don't worry. We're enjoying the cave.
Yeah.
We're getting deeper into the cave, but
I miss, yeah.
Miss, and you wanted to do how
I want to see them again. So, over there, when I went to my grandmother's house, I had a friend that lived next door. I don't want to say any names, but he was a really good kid, right? Anytime he came over to my house, he was like praying before he ate. He was very respectful, right? But people would always say bad things about him because he did grow up in a rough neighborhood, and he did do some bad things. But I think also like his environment wasn't the greatest either. But when he was around good people, he was a really good person. There was a point where my family actually talked about it, and like we wanted to adopt him. And basically one day he moved away, and since then, like, I never really spoke to him again, but I did find his Facebook, and I do want to like hit him up, and I guess that's my plan, to kind of like reconnect with him again and just see how he's doing, cuz I know he's a good person. I know down inside he's an awesome person, and like I would love to see him again. He was my best friend for a good 2 years at the time. Yeah.
That's crazy. You know, also crazy. Normally, like when we were at school, we do a lot of the Humber basketball games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot of those Humber games, and it's so crazy for me because like some people I play on like that I used to go like play ball with are on these college teams. You know, one of the girls that are on the Humber team, I went to high school with her.
No way.
Yeah, I went to high school with her. The other girl on the team, another girl on the team, I know her brother, and her brother is a pretty big YouTuber. And and when I tell you, like what y'all see on the college court, I've been seeing it for years.
Wow.
Like what y'all see on the college court, I've been seeing it for years. They were some of the coolest players I've ever seen in my life. And so when I do those games, I get a lot of people in the stands from people that we used to, like, I used to go to high school with, used to play basketball with, used to play sports with, live in the neighborhoods with. So I remember there was a guy that, like, I ain't seen him since we were, like, mad young, since we were maybe 15, 16.
Wow.
That's our last game we had together, where he moved away. Because he moved away, to a prep school. So when I remember, like, you know, after the game, like, I'm helping, you know, we had to get the cameras down. So I'm helping get one of the cameras to one of our operators. And I see him. Yeah, and I dap up one of my old teammates. Dapped him, showed him some love. Good seeing him. But then I saw his face. I was like, and as soon as we locked eyes, I'm like, really?
Woo-hoo-hoo.
And he's like, really? And it was like, it was crazy. It was good. Like, that's just a story I had to like let it off, because when you asked that question, I immediately thought like, oh man, I literally saw this guy. I hadn't seen this guy in like maybe 7 years. It was crazy. But outside of that, like, you know, some of the friends, I think obviously in the world we live in now with social media, it's so crazy. You may not see somebody for a long time, but you know what they're up to. You know,
Yeah.
you really know what they're still doing, something up
Exactly.
to. Like, there's friends that I graduated from high school, from middle school, that like I see them a lot on social media. So it's like, you know, so sometimes it's just something like, you know, there's one friend that I do wish, because when we were like, we knew each other back in middle school, but we ended off on very poor terms, like really poor terms, and caused a ripple effect. And
Sad.
it was, and I'm taking fuck. It was my fault. I was an idiot. Like, I was just I was a bad little kid. So it was my fault. Like, I'm telling you, this was my fault. But I know what she's doing now. She's doing really talented. I think she's in entertainment right now.
Okay.
You know, she's doing some television stuff right now, like commercial work, stuff like that. So I would be able to just kind of like, you know, reconnect with her, just to simply say like, hey, like, no hard feelings. I'm happy for what you're doing. Like, I'm really happy with what you're doing. I'm proud of what you're doing. And then obviously it's like family stuff. Like, obviously I have like little cousins that I wish I was like that, you know, because obviously because of COVID, plus they moved away. Kind of hard to see them as much as I want to, but I know our paths are going to meet up again. Like, I know that's that's how family is, you know. You rent one cookout, you see like 80 of your cousins in there. So like for me,
Yeah, man.
it's going to be happy. Just kind of, and not even anything serious, just like, you know, good seeing you again. You looking healthy, my guy. You looking healthy.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Okay, probably the last question.
Okay.
Probably the most exotic question.
Okay. Choice of vernacular is there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What is the craziest but fun thing that you did in your life?
okay. Ooh, okay. I like that.
The craziest but fun thing.
Craziest
Yeah,
but fun.
But fun. Oh.
Craziest but fun though. Like, so.
I'm gonna let you take the stand.
All right, mindset. I got all right on everything. After, you know, playing basketball, obviously you get to try. I traveled quite a bit. It was cool, but one of the things that I am very accomplished of, something I still really do to this day sometimes, is skateboarding.
Skateboarding.
Oh yeah.
So I remember I had a teammate I had a friend in class, and he had like a big skateboard deck collection. He had like a bunch. This is like when like tech decks were like really popular, and this is like when this is like Nigel Houston's debut. This is Ryan Sheckler's debut into like the mainstream. It's like this is when like X Games was super popular.
Yeah.
So I remember growing, and like he had like a lot of decks. So we'd go skateboarding, and we'd just borrow his decks, and we'll go to like there was a skate park near where we lived, and my friend who I was a teammate with, he was really good. He was like really, really solid at skateboarding. And so when I picked it up, I skateboarded a little bit. I'm like, this is fun. It was dangerous because one of the things was the hardest thing, the most underrated skill you can have in a sport is dropping in on a skateboard. Dropping in. That is so, it feels simple. It's literally just leaning forward on like a ledge and rolling. It sounds simple.
But if you mess up, you mess up big time.
I found out what a near concussion was at the age of 12 because I dropped in and like cleared the board. So the board is behind me, but I'm like at least a couple meters out. But when I tell you the funnest experience I don't know if funnest is a word, but that's how I can only describe it. One of the greatest experiences I ever got to have. Camp that I used to go to, we used to go to Muskoka. They had a skate park there.
Wow.
And we'd go there, and when I tell you the fun that we would have for hours, like learning how to do any grind sets, learning how to do flips, learning all that stuff, that was definitely a really cool highlight. Like, really, if you skateboard, you're lucky. Them boards it is a fun experience.
Yeah. It is. I used to skate as well, actually.
Nice.
But I'd say the craziest thing that I've ever did that was fun, me and my cousin ended up boating in a hurricane last year.
Okay.
Where?
Okay. No
way.
I feel like you have the fun part there, but you kind of maxed out the crazy part.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Like, you have the fun part there. The fun part is there. We can see the fun. The crazy's maxed. Okay?
Yeah, it was.
No more VC.
Right now.
So basically, we were on the beach, and long story short, there was a hurricane, right?
Was this in Florida?
It was up north.
All right.
It was up north. So there was like a big hurricane, and nobody was on the beach. But I look at my cousin, and I'm like, this is the time. This is the time. The waves are probably like 14,000 feet. I don't know how big they were, but I was like, let's take out the boat. So we take out. I don't even know how.
You weren't in the water. You didn't get caught in a hurricane. You saw a hurricane. You saw them waves, and you're like, now is my time.
Basically. So I don't know how we did it. I don't even know how it didn't pop. But it was one of those plastic boats. I feel
like you were doing a Fear Factor challenge instead of an actual like.
There you go. Why not, right? So we get on. We're like so far out in the water, and the waves are hitting us. I'm having the time of my life. So was my cousin, but he was a little afraid. I kind of pushed him into it. We got to shore, and oh my God. I just remember, like, we thought to ourselves, like, what a day. Our friend was looking at us, because our friend was there too. He was looking at us like we were stupid, and he's probably right.
I was looking okay. I'm like, hey man, I got the camera here just in case. Just in case. If this goes well, I'm putting this on YouTube. Yeah. If it doesn't go well, I'm giving this to the cops. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I wish we did record it. Yes. We didn't record it.
That's sad.
I know. I
wish we had
did.
it right now.
That would be funny. That's wild work. It's when you said it, I'm thinking, okay, you got caught in a hurricane and didn't decide to go to shore right away. I'm like, okay, like, yo, all right, fine, surf's up, let's do it. But you saw the hurricane on shore and said to yourself, you know what is a perfect opportunity now? Let's get this ringy-dink plastic Canadian Tire boat and said, let's get to work.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Yo.
I think we should do that this coming summer.
Yeah, no, y'all can do that.
Yeah.
I'll stay on the shore. I'll stay on the shore.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, yeah, he'll be the one on the shore looking at us
I'll
like,
look.
Ooh la
I'll
la.
look.
yeah, just
I'll
shaking
be
his head.
responsible. I'll be responsible for all y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all can be cool.
Oh man, I could only imagine if that actually did go bad.
Yeah.
I would just be thinking. I wouldn't even be thinking, but like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, man, you trust your swimming way more than I ever could do. You trust your swimming.
Ooh la la.
That's good.
Okay.